Welcome to Vetted Conversations, where we delve into the foundations, workings, and current challenges facing our American experiment. In today's confusing world, it's more important than ever to understand what keeps our nation strong and how we, as patriotic citizens, can actively participate.
Our mission is to ensure that you, the listener, gain the knowledge and insights alongside us, your veteran and military family member hosts, to become more informed and engaged citizens.
In a world of partisan noise, we lead with a bias of patriotism, cutting through the static with clarity, insight, and action. Join us as we learn together and help equip you with the tools to protect and preserve what matters most, our shared American ideals.
Hey everybody, this is Anil Nathan. We are live on Radio Row here in New Orleans. I have the pleasure of being joined by Ahman Green, legendary running back, all-time Green Bay rushing record holder.
Yep.
Which is pretty impressive to still be holding that record. But thank you so much for making the time to chat with us.
Ain't no problem, Mil. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So maybe to start, what brings you to New Orleans this week? How's the week been so far?
Our week's been good, and what brings me down here is that I work with Alumni Media Network. I'm one of the founders, along with Gus Farrat and Craig Richardson, the managing director there. And the whole Alumni Media Network started a few years ago, where it's basically a network of former athletes doing their podcasts, doing their shows that they wanted to do. Whatever passion, whatever topic they wanted to talk about for an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours, and then put it in between long form, short form, media, clips, and stuff like that. We managed to put together a group of guys and soon to be women, girls as well, to talk and spread what they're doing now as former athletes from their profession. So we're not just football.
Right.
We're basketball, we're baseball, we're women's basketball, we're women's football, we're partnered with the NFL Wives, we're partnered with the USA Olympic Committee, the Women's Football Alliance, Women's Football League that's been created in the last couple of years. And so we have right now an influx of over 20,000 athletes that we are connecting through the network, and also bringing them into my space. Another space that I grew up in is in the gaming space, the video game space. So playing games like Super Mario Brothers and Mario Kart, and I say flash forward to Gran Turismo, to Madden and FC Soccer, which is what's FIFA now, it's FC Soccer. So bringing that into a space to where it grows another community, just like the football space did. For the fans that I met in Nebraska being a Husker, to the fans I met in Seattle as a Seahawk in Green Bay, they were pulling hard for for us to win and come out the victor. And the same thing with the video game fans. They love to see athletes or just a gamer play a game of Madden or Call of Duty and say, oh man, I play that game too.
Right.
And know that athlete is on the same level as them of communication. And so I want to grow that community with the league. Obviously get sponsors so they can support our league, and also bring the charity part of it, because then during this competition, these athletes can win money for themselves or money for their charity or for their own foundation.
Right.
So it spreads that community giving aspect of it, because that's one thing when you log on to Twitch or Kick or even YouTube gaming and stuff like that, you see the influencers, they're giving back all the time. There's companies out there that we haven't partnered with yet, but we soon will, because I know a few of them. So definitely going to do that moving forward to progress our league, because we always say the more support we get, the easier it is to give. And the good thing is we have a schedule going on where we'll start our first virtual weekend. So the 3 matches that'll go on for this season will be 3 virtual matches, online tournaments. We'll be starting with sports games, so Madden, FC Soccer, and 2K, and maybe tennis. I might throw in a little cricket as well, just to see if gamers are paying attention to playing games, and because it's all about fun.
Yeah.
But then the next after that's going to be all the fighting games. So we got Street Fighter, we got Mortal Kombat, Tekken, Guilty Gear Strive, and Super Smash Brothers as well. And then the final virtual weekend will be a little bit more into maybe a little bit of shooters, so some Call of Duty, some Halo, some Valorant, and maybe either RTS with League of Legends and Dota. So we'll see. You got to be a dynamic gamer, just like a dynamic athlete, right?
Sure.
To play certain sports. So, like I said, it's all for fun. It's going to be for charity, but then the good thing at the end, we're talking with a company out of Las Vegas to have our final event in person and off the Strip. So
very cool.
We're working on that. We'll be excited to make that announcement once we're done talking and figuring out all the details. So tomorrow, Friday, at the Sheraton Hotel not far from here, 500 Canal Street, we'll be launching this event starting at 12 p.m. going all the way to 8 p.m. Tomorrow night.
Very cool.
Yep.
That's pretty awesome, both on kind of the podcasting community as well as what you do in connecting the gaming community. And I see the T-shirt. You've got your own podcast specifically. That's where kind of a lot of the discussion around gaming comes in.
100%.
Yeah?
So, like I said, from the passion of learning to play video games, learning about a computer, it just grew into that. And so I share this part of my life with my fans out there. I have, I have a fan base. I was a Packer. I was a Cornhusker. I was a Texan. I was a Seahawk. So there's fans that stuck with me all the way through those years, from being drafted to the Seahawk all the way to finishing back in Green Bay and being a Texan for 2 years. And probably none of them, there's a few that, he plays Madden. He streams on Twitch and didn't know that.
Right.
Because they figure that we're athletes, we might just do a certain thing, work out, and then attend to our family.
Right.
I do all that, but hey, I'm a gamer too, man. But if I'm not a gamer, the whole podcast thing is, like, we have some of the podcasts that are on the Alumni Media Network where we got former athletes talking about financial literacy and how to take care of your body, so healthcare and fitness and all that. So this is my region, or my genre of a part of my life that I want to share with people, and I'm passionate about it. That's why I talk about the different topics on my show. And you can find all my past episodes on YouTube at Ahman Green Gamers Lounge and on Twitch at Ahman Green TV. And it's all the trending topics going on in the gaming space. From a couple years ago when COVID hit, what was going on with Activision behind closed doors that shouldn't have been going on.
Sure.
We discussed those topics to what's going on with with Call of Duty and some of the hacks that were going on with people able to shoot through walls and see guys. Like, hey, you're not supposed to do that. Yeah, the aimbots. You can't bring that in the game. But Call of Duty did something about it. They had a lot of banned accounts during that week and month. So we talk about the topics, then we have fun with the show as well. We have a segment called Game Releases where we talk about all the new games coming out. I love the side-scrolling Metroidvania type of games. I played a lot of Metroid growing up on Nintendo.
Yep.
So there's a few that came out, and we always talk about that. And then we have fun with this or that. Saying if you're a DC or Marvel person.
Marvel.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm DC. Yep.
Back on Metroid, I remember I didn't realize Metroid was a woman.
Yeah, I didn't find out until I got to high school. I was like,
Metroid is a woman.
it's Samus. I'm like, I thought that was a guy's name.
The best games that everyone ubiquitously played and didn't realize the main character was a woman.
100%. I think I was a sophomore in high school, and I was watching. I think it was like a commercial of a new Metroid game coming out, and she took off the helmet and did the hair thing, and I was like, no, it's at the end of Metroid. It's when you beat it. When you beat the game, that's right. That's what it was. And she does the hair swing, and I was like, that's so cool.
That's the ultimate plot twist.
I was like, awesome. That's who the badass is. Okay, I love it. Great plot twist right there.
Yeah.
So,
I actually have a quick question.
Yeah.
Could you speak to some of the overlap of the skill sets of both playing games and playing sports? Like, people don't understand it. They try to separate it. And it's like,
There's no separation.
Can you just talk about, like, some of the benefits of both that you've seen? You played professional level,
Yep.
and now you're playing sports at the highest level, or EA Sports.
Yeah.
Electronic. Can you talk to some of the overlap of the skills?
Easy. The skill. Let's say the overlap of the skills in training for. Let's pick any game. Let's go with Madden. Make it real easy. The same time you put in to learn how to use the mechanics on Madden, knowing that you have wide receivers at the A button, the B button, the X and the Y button, and sometimes the RB button, is no different than a quarterback learning his progression. If you're teaching the quarterback how to read a progression in his route sequence on a flood concept. We know that the flat route is your first read, then the corner route is your second read, then the backside corner or the backside street will be your third read in progression. So you got to do the same thing, but now just with your fingers.
Right.
And you got to put time in it. You can't just play it one time, once a week.
It takes practice and
takes
effort
a lot of
and energy,
hours putting in, just like if you're a football player, a baseball player, a basketball player, a track athlete. putting that time in. It takes that dedication too to say, unless you just know, okay, I'm gonna just be a casual gamer, but yeah, then your expectations are casually. So, but if you talking about, hey, I want to beat everybody in my neighborhood, and eventually I want to be a professional and make money off of it, well, you got to get into it just like I got into football.
Yeah.
I got to start early, got to wake up early, got to hit the weight room, then I got to go and run do some conditioning. I got to learn how to catch the football, learn how to hold on, 5 points of pressure, all that stuff. So it's the same commitment. And I'll go into the next genre of game. It's like first-person shooter, so FPS. Like, when I started coaching it, that's when I dug a little deeper into it, because it was just learning, not just learning how to shoot with a controller, but obviously there's mouse and keyboard, and it's actually a little bit faster. Some would argue that's a great debate between, FPS shooters with controllers, FPS shooters with mouse and keyboard. Great debate. It's more of a preference, in my opinion, but if you're good at one, stick with it and go with it if you're gonna go pro. But if you're gonna be casual, you can mess around with it, see what you like. But it's also still a training style to that, because what's funny is I got a training module from one of my assistant coaches where I was working at Nebraska to track my eye tracking. So it's this one app I do that's on YouTube. If you go on YouTube, it got eye training modules that you could search on YouTube. So you basically following the ball and it's popping on the screen left and right. So I do that, and I started doing aim labs and it was aim lab and easy aim, 2 apps where you could either program aim training bots, or they'll give you ones that's already pre-made. You could go on there, and it only takes, like any warm-up, 10 to 20, 30 minutes. As much time you did in the warm-up, then you could go into a Call of Duty match, a Fortnite match, a Halo match, or a Valorant match, and then my KDA, trust me, I'm sitting in Call of Duty, even though it's just casual. I'm not in ranked yet. I'm in casual, but my KDA, which is my kill to death assist, my KDA is like 1.5 right now, and so most pros are at a 1, but I'm in casual ranking right now. So don't judge me off of that. Don't be like, oh my God, you're really good. No, I'm just in casuals, not in ranked yet. But I'm gonna start ranked this week to see where I land. But that dedication, that knowing that you got to do that, because I played against pros in Madden, I played against pros in Call of Duty, and trust me, it's a world of difference.
It's against pros on the field.
Exactly. So when somebody played me in football, when I was probably at my prime, it was a big difference. We'd be like, oh yeah, now I see what the football. So I played with Call of Duty players, like, oh yeah,
that's a pro.
That's a pro. I was like, I could barely get my KDA. I'm like negative, and he's like +5. So. Okay, there is a difference because it's just a different way you train your hand-eye coordination. It helps you get better, and then there's no type of anxiety there because you know where you're going with your shots.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, speaking of overlap in communities, right? I mean, the military community, the veteran community is huge gamers, right? And,
I know.
I'm sure. Do you come across vets or people in the military in your fan base?
All the time. I used to do an event called Pro versus Joe's. So I have a friend. I don't know if y'all ever cross paths with him. He doesn't do it anymore, but his name is Greg Zion.
Okay.
And he worked with all the Army bases across America, where he pretty much partnered with them. He would reach out, and for whatever NFL team or Major League Baseball team, and I think maybe NBA that was near the base, he would invite a couple of the pro athletes to the base, and they would sit and play whatever game the veteran picked. And what was crazy, a lot of the veterans picked Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And I would have thought the other way, because they obviously y'all were living it, but that's what I found out. A lot of the veterans were playing Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Every now and then a Madden player would show up, or FIFA would show up. But majority, and I was like, well, they were like, why? Well, I would think y'all wouldn't, because y'all living that real life. Like, we live Madden, but Madden to not playing, but being in the Army is, as we know, it's serious. So it's like, they're like, no, we still like to play Call of Duty, So I was like, so that was a subtle surprise for me.
Yeah.
But that's what Greg did, and I joined him. He did an event with with Washington. I flew out for that event. He did it with the Seahawks one year, and so I was able to go there and support. And I think that was it. I did 2 events in 1 year, so that was. But to see the military crew going out there and having fun, having a good time was always good to see.
Yeah, no, it's very much like a part of the fabric of. I mean, especially when you're deployed, in the downtime that you might have. I
Yeah.
mean, there's always some form of gaming going on, and I think for a lot of people, I mean, it is a release, right?
It's
a means
100%
of
release.
taking your mind off of other things and being able to kind of focus on something else. And so I think a lot of vets and people on active duty get a lot of they get a lot out of that, right?
Yep.
In the kind of gaming world. So
Yeah, because went from that's what the parents, the families that would come into events, the dad or the mom would play with us, but then the kids are there running around having a good time,
right?
Mixing with other families that also deployed with their mom or dads just getting back home, so we could see that. They're kind of reuniting and just kind of letting their hair down, having a good time.
Yeah. Well, do you have any family that served in the military, or any had close friends? Or?
Oh yeah, I've had close friends, family. So I had. Where could I start? I'll start with on my mom's side of the family, great uncle Buck. He was naval.
Okay.
I'm gonna say World War II.
Okay. Yep.
And then come back into present time. My dad, he was in reserves.
Okay.
For a little bit. And then, and I'll say, it's not quite military, but it's still a force. My older brother, Jerry, he was in the police. He was a police officer for 24 years in Omaha, Nebraska.
Okay.
And then my other brother, Nicky, he was also in the Army. So he was in the Army for, I think, about 8 years. He did most of his time up in Seattle, in Lewis Base, McCord, McCord up there. And then another cousin, 4 years younger than me, he did 8 tours of Iraq.
Wow.
And his last tour was 2008.
Okay.
And as soon as he got out and he was okay mentally and physically, he still was working. I think he works with soldiers now. I think dealing with PTSD and all that. But he got away. He got done. Was okay. Was able to start his family. So now, I would say his kids. He has 2 boys and a girl, and I think they're teenagers now. Because like I said, he retired in 2008, and he got making kids right away. He was ready for that because he was done. He was done. Traveling the world, going to protect us for and serve our country. So when he was done, and when I say 8 tours, everybody's like, "What? He did 8 tours?" And to me, it wasn't. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm going for it." He just made it like it was nothing. Yeah. Hey bro, hey cuz, I'm going for another tour. I'm like, okay, man. Be safe. And I never not thought I would not talk to him again. Yeah. That was one thing I always thought. I was like, oh, can't wait until we talk again. Keep that positivity up. Because I know, I had a brother that was a cop. And now one of my cousins that I grew up with was in the military. So it's like you know what they were facing, but you just got to, this reality and live with it. But also know that stay ahead of the game. Be like, hey, I'm going to see you again, no matter what.
100%. Well, Military 250, I mean, what we're doing is we're celebrating. This year is actually the 250th birthday of the Army, Navy, and Marine Corps. And so it's a little fun fact that a lot of Americans aren't aware of. And so thank you for your family service and everything that they've done. And we are using this kind of celebration of the military's birthday to inspire, all Americans, but especially the veteran and military family community to find new ways to serve again. So honor the service of people from before us by our own service moving forward. So so that's what it's all about. And well, Ahman, thank you so much for making the time to chat.
No problem.
And before we go, I got to ask, well, first off, where can people find more information about your podcast and gaming and all that sort of stuff?
Will do. So for Alumni Media Network, so it's alumnimedianetwork.com. And for all the former athletes, professional or college, you can find the AML, so AMEL Esports.com. That's the landing page and a registration form for the league. And if you're in town in New Orleans for tomorrow's event, it's at the Sheraton here in French Quarter, 500 Canal Street, from 12 to 8 p.m. tomorrow. And then myself, Ahman Green's Gamer Lounge, I am on Twitch, Ahman Green TV, and then on TikTok, Ahman Green's Gamers Lounge, and I would say X, Ahman Green 30. So those are all my socials.
Love it.
Where I'm at, streaming once a week on Gamers Lounge. That's every Wednesday at 2 p.m.
Okay.
And then the Green and Go G Lounge with Gilbert Brown, Dorsey Levens. That's every Tuesday morning at 10:30 a.m. So we got our last episode of the season after the Super Bowl, and we'll find out if Gilbert is not licking the bottom of the barrel in picking games, because he's been not doing good in his picks. I'll say that. I'll be nice and say that.